Up, everybody? So, we are going to go over the secret grid overlay for iOS devices. So, Android, the big benefit, having an Android when playing Golf Clash is, you know, you can just download Cross Hero, the Crosshair Hero app, and you can actually make your own grid overlay, or you can upload grid overlays, and then you can just position them on your screen, and you're good to go. I didn't put any type of link in the description because I don't have an Android. I only use iOS. I use an iPad Mini when I play. And then my phone is an Apple. So, yeah, I've never used any type of grid overlay uh, for for my device because Apple doesn't allow it. And the reason Apple doesn't allow it is when you have a grid overlay, you have to accept the source, which can be a potential risk of, you know, people hacking, getting into things they shouldn't, credit card numbers, stuff like that. So Apple doesn't allow um, basically access from unknown sources. But there is something that is a little secret in iOS that probably like 95% of people don't even know about that you can use for a grid. So you're going to have a newer iOS device. So let's take a look here. So let me see here. So in general, let's take a look at about. So software versions, mine's is 14. Okay, that'd probably be a good thing. That'd probably be a good thing to have. So and this is the newest iPad Mini, as you can see, it's a 5th generation. All right, so let's get to the good stuff. So first of all, you're going to go into your settings, like I'm already in here, okay, and we're going to go to accessibility. All right. Now, in accessibility, you're going to see physical and motor. All right. Now, these are things for people that can't use their hands, can't talk, um, and so on. All right. So we're going to go down to voice control. We're going to click on voice control, and then up at the top it says voice control. And on yours, the tab will most likely be off. So we're going to click it on. Okay. And now at the very bottom it says continuous overlay. That's where we're going to go. So we're going to click on that, and then you can see item numbers, item names, and numbered grid. All right, that's obviously what we're going to click on. So we're going to click it, and boom, you can see that the grid comes onto my screen. All right, now you got at the very bottom, it's got number of rows, number of columns. Okay, so typically I like to play with 6 as my top number and 2 as the bottom. So it has to be an even number. Okay, it can't just be 1. See, 1, that's what 1 looks like. There is no line in the screen. All right, so it has to be an even number. All right, now with the even number, you can pick. So, you know, you would almost think that, well, 2 and 2, you got a crosshair in the center. Well, see, the problem with that is when you're adjusting, you have to zoom out to be able to adjust from that center line. So you're zooming out really far, and it's really awkward to do, and you'll understand if you try it. You'll be like, dang, this does not work. So it's it's almost better just to stick with the 6 or even the 4 if you want, but I prefer the 6 is what I prefer. Or you could go with 7 or 8. Yeah, so I guess okay, so this top number can be any of the numbers, all right? Can be any of them. So that's up to you what you decide to choose, okay? I like to play with 6 because this bottom line here is really, it's just above the take shot button. If you want it to be closer to the top of the take shot button, you're going to choose 7, but I like to go 6. Then the bottom number, that one has to be an even number. Okay, as you can see with the 3, there is nothing center. There's not going to be anything center. Same with 7. So 2 has a center line, 4 is going to have a center line, 6 is going to have a center line. I always keep it at 2 because I just want one line down the middle. I don't need any other side lines. All right, so let's take a look at, oh, also let's just go through a couple other things in here. So automatic dimming, you're going to want to keep that off, okay, because when you have that on, it will eventually shut off, and it could shut off during your match, so you're not going to have it. Another super cool thing about it is there are commands. And one thing is you're going to ask, I already know it, is can these numbers come out of the boxes? Unfortunately, no, because what this is for people that can't use their hands. So what they'll say is they'll say the number, and then it'll zoom in, and then more boxes are created. And they'll just keep saying numbers until it zooms in on exactly what they want to choose, and then they can choose it that way. So no, the numbers can't come off the screen. But when I play, I don't really notice the numbers because that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at my rings, I'm looking at the wind, and I'm looking at it making my adjustment. All right, so to me, it doesn't affect me, but also I don't use this very often. I use it most of the time when I have to make an exact adjustment for like slice for for my rings. That's really the only time that I use it, or there are just certain times where I use it, but it's not often at all. Um, so another cool thing that I was going to talk about is we're going to go into customize commands. Okay, so we're going to go to overlays, which will be the second one under basic navigation, and you can see I have all of these clicked off except for show grid. Okay, yeah, see, and then you have, what other ones do I have? Yes, those are all off. So, and then hide grid. Okay, so when you're playing, you can just say hide grid. Well, see, now it doesn't want to work. But you can say hide. I think the reason why it's not working is because I'm recording. But you can say hide grid, and it will shut off. Okay, so while you're playing, you can say show grid, and then it will come up onto the screen. All right. Now the reason I have all these other things clicked off is, let's say you're talking to somebody that's next to you, and let's say you like say some numbers or something like that. It might pick that up, and it might actually change the overlay on there. So it might change the lines. It's happened to me before during a match, and so I wasn't even able to use the correct lines. So be careful about that. That's why if you're going to go through the commands, click all of them off except for show grid and hide grid. Okay, because that's a nice thing to have is you can make it turn on. That's one thing an Android device cannot do. So that's really the only benefit you're going to have. So let's just go into a match and just check out what it's going to look like when we play. So you can see that it's still here. All right. So this is the account that I'm working on right now. I'm trying to build all my accounts up, trying to get them to that 4,000 trophy mark. Let's just check out how this plays, what it looks like. I'm going to pull out my notebook app. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to need it for this shot, but so I don't have it in the bag. All right, well, I was going to use my rock, but apparently I did not put it in my bag here, so we'll just go with the Thor's hammer. All right, so let me get it set up. Okay, so regular adjustment. Okay, I've got it straight, line through. Now you can use, it doesn't matter which line you use. You can use any of them. So I'm going to drag right down to this bottom line, the one that's right above the take shot button. Okay, we're going to hit perfect. And see, now if you want less numbers, then you're going to go with a less top number. Okay, so my number here is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be, this one here is 6. No, 7. This one here is going to be, I believe, 7. No, it's 6. Yeah, it's 6. Never mind. So if you want less numbers, you can just do 5, 4. It's up to you. You know, the higher or the more you're going to have to zoom out to be able to adjust. So I would suggest maybe going in between 4 and 5. Nice shot. Well played. So yeah, I didn't on that one. So I'm just trying to show you this. So, all right, next shot, 10% elevation. All right, so 4-1. Let's take a look here. I think this is at max distance, so it'll be 2-6, I believe. Yeah, it sure is. All right, so we're just gonna line it up. Do no spin. All right, so 2-6. So I'm gonna use the middle line this time. All right, so I'm gonna pull over the bullseye on this. I think that's about right. All right, let's see. I'm close. I'm close. But yeah, you can see that um, the grid it has its purpose. It works. Um, and it's up to you whether you want to use it. Because I mean, your only other option is to switch to a Android device. So, I hope this helps you out, and